I was wondering, listening also to our conversation at 12 o'clock with the clients' lunch, and also the debate that we just had. Wonder if I'm going to ask my wife the crucial question tonight. Do you want me to become a hunter? Or should I become a farmer? So, because in both cases there could be a major problem involved. So, just by illustrating that it's not so an easy task or an easy question to raise. Because if I am the farmer in my company today, I can judge my people and say, well, I'm very happy what you did today or yesterday. But if I'm the hunter, I will never be happy. So it's a big dilemma. So I don't know what my wife is going to say, but I will give you by email, social media, the answer, if I can. And the other thing is looking at the group. I think, Vipin, thank you very much for the invitation, but you lie a little bit to me. Because I asked him, tell me, what is the trigger to come and to give a presentation? I say, well, I can promise you there will be a whole room filled with female entrepreneurs. So I will check where they are, but you changed over very quickly. So, but with all due respect, there is something with men, I have to tell you. Let's say for 2 minutes first. There's a study, for the foreigners, there's a study done in Holland. If you look at a group, you see more or less 3 kinds of men. You have one type of men that wear ties. And that group is categorized as the people that are dominated by their work, so by their boss. So that's one of the aspects that came out. There's a second group of people that don't wear a tie, but still wear a white t-shirt under their shirt. Yeah. They are dominated by their mother. So there is a third group, and as I am like today, you cannot judge me on that. But there's a third very interesting group, and exactly on a Friday, because that's the group, of course, with no tie and no white t-shirt, just a plain open shirt. They are dominated by their erotic dreams. And especially around Friday, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It starts. Yeah? And therefore, the active sex index on a Saturday morning is huge. So that's what I wanted to share with you as a, let's say, as a starter. Vipin asked me to tell you in, I think, 30 minutes the story of our company. And I try to do that. So if I hear the bell, I have 5 minutes to go, then it will be in a big rush. The story of the company called the Always Be Mobile company, we are not into mobile phones, as it could sound. We are into always be mobile on the road. Now that's difficult in Holland. We have 16 million people living on this in this country. We have 33,000 square meters available, shop floor, which means we have 500 people living on a square kilometer. It's the highest rate in the world. It's number one. We have 8 million cars on the same square, because on water it's difficult. So driving on land means we have 250 cars per square kilometer in Holland. It's the highest rate in the world. I can give you all the other figures. We are always number one. What a fantastic environment to do business in, because your client, your cars are very nearby. So perhaps we don't need social media, but nevertheless, we actually only could house 500,000 people looking at what the World Wildlife Fund is telling you as an ecological footprint. So we're going to die anyway soon because of the oxygen level. But our company is looking way ahead, so I will go through this presentation in 3 steps. Share you our dreams, share with you the dramatic situation of the market, and how we try to cope with that as a company. We are an independent developer of retail concepts in the automotive. And we try to be, let's say, the alternative to the traditional dealer, where you buy your car and get your car back to when he's not there. Looking at the way the market has been going up, so you see 200 cars in 1900, and we are up to 7.7 million. I think we crossed 8 million not so long ago. We have also 1 million commercial vehicles, which is also through, if you divide it through square kilometers, the highest in the world. So we have a huge car park in Holland. We have 600 lease cars, 600,000 lease cars that drive 3 times more kilometers than a consumer, so they take, let's say, 25% of the whole maintenance job that we need to manage. So looking at our dreams, I took my 2 kids. They are 7 and 5. If I come in tonight, the first one will ask, can I get your iPhone? And the other one says, can I get your iPad? And they know that gratis they can download as an app. And then the other one said, yeah, but I saw on the bill, I said to him yesterday, that you were buying. We said we had an agreement, you could not buy. Yeah? Yeah, he said, but it was for free. I said, it's not true. Yeah, but it starts with a 0. That means it's free. So 0.78. So, okay. But we wonder, how will these 2 kids deal with cars? And then deal with maintenance. So if we could figure that out, we have 10 years to work on it before they get their driver's license and then start becoming our customer. So I'm looking at my 2 kids and wonder, what am I seeing then? That they are very brand driven. Yeah? If it's about, I don't know what it is, but 2 young boys are fascinated by cars. It will change, I believe, to something else, but up to, let's say, he's 7 already, and he had the first kiss, he said, a couple of weeks ago. So, but nevertheless, they are very brand driven. They can all name these brands in the car, seeing the cars coming by. So I wonder, so that's one thing. They are very, very, very brand driven. So we need to do something with brands. So if we're not in the brands business, we are somewhere probably in the garbage now in 10 years. And I probably assume that when they are going to buy a car, when they are 18, hopefully it will be 16 when we are a little bit years ahead. So like in the States that you can drive at 16, they will search a car. I think they will not go into a car with their mom or their dad and then go through the traditional car dealer like we do today and then looking for a car. There are 3, there are 4, there are 10 cars. No, they will look on the internet. If they found the car through the internet, they will see how that will work in their social life. What do people say about that car? And probably they will see that the car of that age, with that kilometer, coming from Italy, driven by a fool, is not good to buy. Yeah? So they will judge on a Zuver way, on a consumer-oriented or driven review, what they will buy. So through their social network, they will check what is all about it. And I think all the answers, what they will need to know about that car, will come from the people driving the same car. So if you drive an Opel or a Fiat or a Peugeot 307 or 5 years old with so many kilometers, you will check what people with the same car, the same kilometers will say about that car now. Does a website like that exist? No. Not yet. Yeah? But so there's a judgment to make, not through advertising, because in the age of 17 or 18, when my kids are in that age, advertisement will be gone. It will be experience-driven. Like the Telegraaf just mentioned, it will be based on experience and user-generated content. Yes, they will not sit behind a stupid screen. Yeah? They will also not have a Nokia anymore, probably, but they will probably have an Apple or a Peer. But in this particular case, I mean a device. And they will use that device where they are, when they are, want to use it, 24/7, real-time, online, on demand, to check and to show the other people, their friends, their girlfriends, the car. It's difficult taking your laptop into the disco. Eh? You can try, but I think you are out of the disco very soon. And of course, people and companies like Apple will not only make devices, but Apple itself will be the community, the brand, the system. So if they have found their car and they put it on their system, their Apple system, it will be downloaded also to social websites and their own websites and. By the way, if I go to I don't know how many people have registered their own name as a domain name on internet. Half, mostly. The other half, I will give you the following thread. Yeah? I will get the list from your names from Vipin. I will register your name tomorrow and link you to the most wanted porn site. Would you like to do that? So in the UK, the teasing between kids, I don't know if teasing is the right word, on college is doing this. So prepare your kids and yourself to not be involved in such act by at least registering your domain name on the internet, your own name. I've done it for my kids. Have you done it for your kids? If not, you are running into a high risk, as I just explained to you, because I said porn, but it also could be something else. For example, the Telegraaf Media Group or something like that. Nevertheless, what will remain is that when they drive with their friends who are 18 in another car, they will need to know where they need to search for that car on the internet. They couldn't know if there is no advertisement done about it. So, of course, search for a car when they are 18, we need to advertise this. And therefore, I put the example of our portal that we created for searching cars in this particular case. And it's not when they are 18, it's already what we are doing now. So we are preparing ourselves for that age. And Autos, built by Nintec, shows, do I have? Yeah, 6 million cars available today. So we've brought together 6 million cars through Europe on one portal. So if you're searching today, you don't need to go to all the other sites. You just do it here. We call it in Holland the Bijenkorf strategy. So why not a Louis Vuitton in the Bijenkorf in Amsterdam? So we've checked all the cars on the internet where they are, and we invite them. Otherwise, we, how do you call it? Spider them and put them on our site as a convenience, as a Google for cars. Now, it's strange because in Holland, as in the other countries, these portals are not owned by car companies. They are owned like companies like the Telegraaf Media Group or Wegener. So they are using cars for advertisements because you need to pay to put your car on. And wonder what will happen if I pay you to get your car on this site soon. I wonder what will happen with the other ones. And why is it a problem for them? They are not a car company. They are an advertising company, which will change over the years through social media. And they don't have 6 million cars, because they only have the cars of their own traditional dealer network, like Autotrack, for example. But I have 6 million, so that's a starting point, 6 million. I found my BMW X5 on this site. I bought it 2 weeks ago. I was looking for a BMW X5 with 50,000 kilometers, which is from 2005, 4.4 engine in a nice light brown color. I found one, 2 kilometers under Munich for 19,000 euro. The catalog price is 112,000 euro. And we got it here in a week on new plate numbers, because it's import. It looks like new, and it cost us 22,000 euros, including the BPM, which we need to pay. But as it is 4 years old or 5 years old, it's peanuts. So 22,000 euro for a brand new car. It's a service that we're going to offer to the whole of Holland, so that you don't need to go to Munich, get this license plate, blah, 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 blah. We're going to make that happen for you. And I think Wegener and the Telegraaf Group is not going to get that car for you. Of course, they will not have these sites anymore, well, when my kids are 18, but nevertheless. Now, if you go from the virtual reality to the physical reality, we need a store also as well. So experience is something we need to manage. So this is the new concept store for Autos.nl. And the first one will be built in Bilthoven this year. It looks a little bit smaller than this, but nevertheless the first Autos store will be opened. Now, the interesting here is, in this store there are 50 cars. Normally these were cars that we would like to sell. That's a traditional store. These are the cars that we don't sell. If you want to have a car, you come into the store, we profile you, we give you 50 euros for the maintenance of the car that you are going to buy later on. Therefore, you need to go through us for the buying. We search the car, we find that we will find it in Italy. We will get the car to us, we put it on a plate, inspect it, maintain it, put APK in it, give you an all-inclusive card, which is an RFID tag card. And then you come back after a week when the car is in the shop and say, this is your car. It will be packed with a surprising aluminium foil with a string on it. And we will put some music on and there is your car. And then the girl says, I thought it was nice, but this is not nice. Leave it here. You don't need to buy it. This is the car that is in the room. And if it's not sold by someone who wants to have it, we will kick it out in a month's time. So that's how we will have these cars. Now the reality of today, that was the dream, yeah? But nevertheless, the site is there and the store is going to be there in Bilthoven soon. We are writing the book, Total Lost, which is the name of a book saying that after, let's say, 120 years of the monopoly of the car manufacturers, importers and dealers, it's time for a big change. And why? They are completely lost. But they are also total loss. Because they said in their own research, presented to them, that they are non-profitable. So a car dealer in Holland is making no profit anymore in selling cars. Zero. Jort Kelder is one of our crazy Dutchmen on the television, was the host of the annual car dealer meeting in Holland. And he opened up and he said, 50 of you are walking deads. And one part was laughing to the other part, and the other part was laughing to the other part. So nobody was dead, of course. That's the BOVAG strategy. Again, there was another research saying that only 16% of the Dutch consumer have a good faith, trust in a car dealer. It was as high or low as in politicians with regard to branding, trust, social media. So if social media opens up to get all the criticism about car dealers, my God. So what are we going to do? We will open up a social media, a website calling forgetthedealer.nl. And you can post all your comments about the dealer that you have. Of course, when it's, let's say, very bad or poor, you will get an alternative soon from us. Why is it the walking dead? Forget all the figures. But an average car dealer sells 0.2 cars a day. So 200,000 cars sold to consumers on an annual basis through 2,600 dealers is 0.24, 23. On a Monday, that's 0. On a Tuesday, 0. On a Wednesday, 0. On a Thursday afternoon at 1.15, the first car. So there is no economy of scale here to survive. And we had 4,500 dealers. Imagine how much money they were making on each car to exist. And now 2.3. Now let's imagine on a zero-based weekly. On a Monday, 0 because everyone is still drunk. On a Tuesday, 1, on a Wednesday, 2, on a Thursday, 1, Friday, 2, and of course with the sex index on a Saturday, 4, because the girl was promised to get a car. So 10 cars per week. That means we only will have 385 car dealers in Holland soon. Now you could say, yeah, but what about these lease cars for the leasing companies? Okay, let's take them also into account. Then we will have 770 dealers including lease. Now my question is, with 2,693, is that a shift, or is this a big shift, or is this a crisis? Just 2 examples. Daihatsu decided to stop with the sale in 2013. No Daihatsus anymore in Europe. Do you know what that means with the car dealers? 96 in Holland. BMW, if you are a dealer, you had a meeting 2 weeks ago. If you were over 50 years old. And the importer would have said to you in the meeting, you are over 50, we have no future anymore for you, sorry. So there is already a preparation for the 2013 deadline where people are orientated to diminish the number of outlets. Now, IKEA have 12 stores in Holland. Isn't that enough to sell 200,000 cars? So imagine we would have 2,650 IKEAs. Yeah. So, but if we would have an IKEA where all the brands are in and blah, 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 all the car brands, there isn't 12 enough. The missing link, of course, is why are they still there? Because the people tell them, like the BOVAG and other ones, yeah, you need to be there as a car dealer to maintain the car. Or the cars in general in Holland. We have 8 million cars, it's going to be 12 million. So who's going to maintain the car? Because if it's not the dealer that you are going to, my wife bought a car in Emmen and she lives in Hilversum and it's a Peugeot 307 and she thinks she needs to go to a Peugeot dealer because she bought a Peugeot. But there is no Peugeot dealer in the future. Was he doing the work better than we are doing now as a multi-brand store? Yes. Yeah. But what does it matter if he's not there anymore? So we need to manage that. And we need to create brands so that my wife says, okay, I've bought just a Peugeot 307, that's let's say a mid-class car. I go to that chain for maintenance or for glass or for body repair or for whatever. So the independent retailer, like we like to call ourselves, is the brand, like McDonald's or Profile Tire Center. And the car dealer is part of the distribution model. That's why he's called a dealer and not a retailer. So a retailer at the end of the tail makes a Swift, like a chef in the kitchen, gets the ingredients and makes a dish and therefore creates at the end of the line is something new. And the car dealer just brings in the carrots. The EU is fed up with the monopoly of the car manufacturer, the car importer, and the car dealer. So in 2002, they decided that all information that all garages need to maintain a car should be given free. So we got it. Fine. We already had it. Because the cars are made of spare parts, and the spare part manufacturers are giving us the details anyway. We are an important aftermarket for them. But in 2013, the car manufacturer can decide how many car dealers are going to be in Holland to sell cars. That's new. Now the BOVAG decides that. And that means we get hard franchise, like McDonald's. And then I think we will have left, after a couple of years, 500 dealers in Holland. But these two guys need to go into prison first. Now we are in the prison. We are the only independent retailer multi-brand, and they try to keep us between bars. Yeah? If I use the BOVAG logo again, I pay 100,000 euros, or I go to court. That's how they threat us, for example. So you need to have a little balls to go a route where they said to us, you, the two of you, which is myself, my colleague in the room, running this business, you act like two fools running through the desert with water. Don't you know that you don't need to come into the desert with water? It's the desert. Yeah? That's a little bit how they see us. So we created this company. We believe strongly in putting the customer first and not the car brand, and then putting service in place, and therefore need a system. Franchising is a system. IT is a system. We only work with independent entrepreneurs that fit, like McDonald's, these aspects. So we are in hard franchising. We have 4 divisions: developing retail chains for consumers, running multi-brand lease contracts for leasing companies on a national base, running service contracts, tires and services contracts for transport companies in Holland for the whole of Europe, and having a wholesale department where we generate all our purchasing for all franchisees. Our brands are Profile Tire Center, James, ABC, 123, Autoglas, Autos.nl, and Autoschade. Our company for leasing is Masters for Fleet, and Profile Tire Center Truck Europe runs all our business in Europe for truck. Our competitors are only semi-independent or not independent. AD is from AD, Car Expert is from another company, Bosch Car Service is from Bosch, Euromaster is from Michelin. So they are the companies that are, let's say, our competitors in the multi-brand situation are all semi-independent. And these brands are all independent because they are owned by an independent Automotive holding, which is not owned by a bank, nor a venture capitalist, nor a car manufacturer, nor a distributor. And these are our own brands. What we try to achieve, if you have a car, that you search him on autos.nl. 2 million people yearly in Holland search for another car. So from the 8 million, 2 million try to search for another car. If we can facilitate them, and then they need maintenance, tires, glass, and damage, and we give them, let's say, an RFID tag card, and they come into Profile Tire Center, and we can say, good morning, Vipin. How are you? What about your Peugeot 307? We see that you had a job done not so long ago, blah, blah, blah. Instead of, who are you? If you are a loyal customer going to your restaurant all the time, why am I there longer than the most of the personnel if you visit this restaurant for years? And why don't they give me an iPad so I can see what the menu is and I can order instead of... So for fleet, we have Masters for Fleet. We sell repair, maintenance, tires, damage, and glass contracts. We handle that through a customer services fully automated and let the work be done by these chains. And the lease driver can book online at zakelijkerijder.nl. We tell them where your winter tires are and where do you need to make this reservation to put the summer tires on through a portal. This is what you've seen already. Oh. Just an impression of the shops. Profile Tire Center. He's running out of battery. James. ABC. This is perhaps an interesting example. We developed a service where we get a car from a lease driver at the place where he works, bring it to the garage, do the maintenance, the cleaning, and put some gifts in it and bring it back to the company where he works. Leaseplan wanted to have the first, let's say, was the one who wanted to use it and put it in the market for the first time. Our first year was 10 million euros. We are doing this then. We're doing this for the whole of Holland, no matter where your company is, and no matter where you work. We get your car, clean it, maintain it, and bring it back for all brands. Autoglas, schadeherstel. And how did we then do it? This is the promo van Intec. How did we all manage these processes just in 2 minutes? The customer is there. He has all his distribution there, LinkedIn, social media, route planner, wherever you want to go. He will actually want to go to one of our stores, in this particular case to Profile Tire Center. We need products to manage our recipes, like a chef, to manage our product lines. In the headquarters, we develop concepts and business lines, and we want to try to have everything there where we can franchise with or to make contracts with the businesses. And then we thought, yeah, we can do this. Put something in between that looks like this. But it's called myibn.com. You make your barbecue on it. But we've put in place our own dedicated hosting center, Homitel, which is owned by us. So housing of our hardware, software, connections, blah, blah, blah. Never give it to someone else. Keep it close to you. Homitel, our own business. And we've put in place Microsoft Business Dynamics, owned by Bill. And he puts billions in it to develop this ERP Dynamics 2009 system, which is great. We are his primary client in Europe. We have an online connection with Redmond, where they develop. They have 700 people doing nothing than develop this ERP system as a basis. We've put an entrepreneur application on top of it, in this particular case for tires. So 400 of our users are these entrepreneurs using our system, hosted by our own hosting company, and using ERP as a bookkeeping system, but also as their business application in general. And with SharePoint technology, we built all kinds of portals. How do you know it called? SharePoint-based portals, websites, to reach, let's say, on the one hand, the manufacturer, because if you are an entrepreneur, you can go into Autodynamics, look at the stock level for tires, for example, through the whole of Europe, make your order, which is then delivered to you, and the whole administration process, which is laying under that, is managed by our IT system. And let's say most of our SharePoint-based applications that reach out to suppliers on the one hand and customers on the other hand are built, of course, who else? By Nintec. The end of my story is, and why are we sustainable as a company? We are focusing on not the new car, but on the existing occasion, the existing car. And why? Because it takes 6 times more energy to build a car and CO2 than the CO2 that comes free driving the car through the whole length of its existence. So why the hell are we making new cars? If my wife runs 10,000 kilometers a year, why is she not driving a BMW of 12 years old that can still go for 100,000 kilometers? It's the crazy advertisements, sorry. No, the main reason that she is not doing it is not the CO2, because that's in 6 times more worse if she buys a new one, and for the Prius it's 8. But she is scared of the maintenance. That is part of the occasion. So the car dealers are selling, let's say, not trust, but fear. And we are going to take that away. Now, watch what is going to happen. Thank you very much. This is the magazine that we bring out 3 times a year. We try to make tires sexy. Therefore, we have our international magazine, Tire Zone, which is published and has 120,000 pieces every time we bring it out. It's somewhere in a bag when you leave. It's the old version which we gave you. We had a rest stock. And this is a new one coming up, but you will get it per post. Okay, thank you very much.